stream. Right. Got it. Hello, everybody. We are back. My laptop is now fixed. So I'm back on my laptop. Relief that I am back, but I am still in the dining room because it was easier to stay here as I was chatting to Teresa. So we thought rather than record and delay it and everything like that, we just come live so that you can ask questions. And if you've got anything, there were some people that I was going to tag because they wanted to not miss it. So I will quickly do that. But as you come on, do say hello. Let us know that you're watching. Lola wanted to see it. And we've just been having a natter about things and reminiscing on our time together. I'm waffling. Sorry, Teresa. Teresa, do you want to just do a quick intro on your business and probably talk about when you met me?
Oh, yes. Well, I've got a bookkeeping business that I started in 2010 and built over the years. I was on my own for a lot of those years. I've had my mum worked with me and had different employees and things like that. We've had lots of different challenges over the years. And Rich works with me now. He joined the business 4 years ago, I think. It might be 5 now. So yes, it's a nice business. I work from home, got a nice client base, and it was ticking along. But I was always kind of thinking, and there's something else I should be doing. I'm not 100% happy that I want to do this forever. Is this really what I want to do forever? So I was always on the lookout for other things. So I was forever getting involved in different MLMs. I think I've tried them all. Over the years, I've done Party Light. Still I'm involved with Party Light a little bit. Candles and Tropic is the latest one that I got involved in, which was nearly 2 years ago, thinking that was going to be the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But then I met you on a course nearly 2 years ago. I suppose it was February, March, wasn't it? 2021.
Yeah, it was March, wasn't it? March to July that we did the course.
Yeah, with a view to growing my Tropic business on social media, which is what I wanted to do. And it did help. It was interesting and it was quite expensive. It was a big investment, and I've never done anything. I've never done coaching before that course. So it was a big gamble. But I met you, we kept going into Zoom rooms together, didn't we? And it was like,
I know, I remember once actually turning around to you and going, "Oh, Teresa, you got me again. I'm really sorry."
Yeah, it was funny. But it was good because it was like it was meant to be, because I noticed that you were very good at suggesting ideas for me. You were one person that stood out from all the others that was always helpful. And what about this? Have you thought about doing that and that sort of thing? So we kind of became friends, and I joined your group and started following what you were doing. And then the course ended on that side, and that was kind of like, I don't think I've ever gone back to it. I've never really looked at any of the material since. I've not really used the material, so it was a bit of a shame that it didn't pay off.
Yeah, it was great energy, but it didn't quite hit the mark for us, did it?
No.
So I got quite a bit out of it, but it was.
I think it was designed for your sort of business, wasn't it? With me, with Tropic, it didn't really.
Yeah, and I'm going to be brutally honest. One of the reasons that I created the Connected Blueprint, which is what you joined afterwards, was because what I witnessed was a lot of people fell out of that course because they got behind, they made the excuses, they were too busy. They just didn't prioritize their time to actually do the work. And once they got behind, it got too hard. So despite investing 2-3 grand in that course, it was easy avoid it than actually do the work, wasn't it? And that's why, I mean, I was one of the ones that really did do all the work and got to the end. There was just a handful at the end, weren't there? And one of the things was to do a challenge, and I was the only one that did the challenge within the time frame, wasn't I? And that was because I'd done the mindset.
Yeah.
And it, for me, that's what stood out throughout all of this, was the mindset.
Yeah.
And it's why I created it. And, you know, it's what I love as well. So, yeah, at the time when you came kind of into my world, you were very much looking at Tropic as being your solution.
Yeah.
Bookkeeping, you were like, you'd hit the ceiling, you weren't going to do anymore, you couldn't do anymore.
The bookkeeping always felt very pressured, really time, labour intensive, long hours, stressful, not fun. And I wanted the opposite. I wanted to earn money while enjoying myself, loving what I do, and make decent money. I don't expect to be a millionaire, but, you know, make decent money out of things.
So can I just check, do you have all those things now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I still want more. It's still growing and developing.
Exactly. And it's not wrong to want more either, is it? It's good to want more, because we should, you know, I was talking about this in the coaching this morning. The seasons change. They, you know, trees continue to grow. Why can't we continue? Nature does it. That's what it's all about. It's about continuous growth and having more. It's not wrong to want more or to grow. In fact, it's within our very nature to do that and to reach out for more. So, but you, I mean, we had a DM conversation yesterday, but you were out at the time because with your sister having coffee, weren't you? So you take time off. You've introduced, now this is going to be a question for you as a coach here. Are you still doing the first of the month off?
Yes.
And are you doing Friday afternoons off?
Yeah, most Fridays. There's the odd Friday where I can't quite manage it. But
okay. And that's okay, because that happens. And that's kind of, in some ways, it's quite good, because that means you're getting busier with business. But just for everybody here, one of the challenges Teresa had was that being bookkeeping, it all kind of bunched up at the end of the month, didn't it, for work-wise? And you found you were exhausted. And one of the things that we wanted to do was make sure she had the balance in her life. That was, you know, a really fundamental part of what she wanted. So she talked about being happy doing what you were doing. So we agreed that you would have the first of the month off every month. So that you had that time to recover, and you knew that you had an extra day to recover when you had the big work.
I don't feel exhausted at month end now, because the work, we've arranged the work so it's spread out now, because we used to have it every third month was hectic because of VAT returns, and now we've got it set up so that we can do the accounts monthly rather than quarterly. So there isn't that heavy quarter every third month.
And we were talking beforehand about the fact that you were very much exchanging money for time.
Yeah.
And now you've changed that whole way of working, haven't you?
Because I always have this belief that there's a ceiling on what we can earn, because there's only so many hours in a day and we're charging by the hour. So you can work out, if you're doing 6-7 hours a day, your hourly rate, what your weekly income is going to be. And then working with you helped me see that it's not about an hourly rate. Yeah, you can have an hourly rate for some work. A lot of the work that we do now, because we work for clients ongoing, month on month, week on week, they have packages now. So I work out what I think that job, how long it'll take. And I sort out if we're providing higher level services, they pay a higher level price, because it's not just straight basic bookkeeping, it's management accounts and that sort of thing. So I put a value on higher level work, which is more profitable. So it's not about it's 10 hours, you know, it's a price per month, and every client has been absolutely fine with it. And now I know every month what we're going to earn, and it's not up and down, up and down. It's a set amount each month. The client knows where they stand. They've got a fixed fee. And this is from working with you, that I could see that is, and I was always scared of doing that because I thought, no,
I remember you coming with me with quite a few fears that you had. I made a note about, we
yeah,
talked about the working harder. We've talked about not being able to see about how you could make more money because you were on an hourly rate.
I didn't think I would be capable of designing packages and putting a price on them. I thought I'll underprice it, I'll end up losing money. And that's what I thought. So I thought, I'm not even going there, I'm not even trying to tackle it. And that's what I was like for 10 years probably.
Yeah. And you had a fear of the VAT level as well.
Yeah.
That stopped you.
I kept our turnover low, so we didn't have to go back registered. So
so you hadn't necessarily acknowledged that at the time, had you? You were kind of doing that. The other thing was that I've got a note here that the prices, you didn't feel you could you hadn't increased your prices, had you?
7 years. I've been in business 12 years and I've only done a price increase once until last year, well, the start of this year. And that's just not on. So
are you doing another one this year?
Yes, I've got it in mind what I'm doing. I want to talk to you about a bit more about that, but yes, I know what I'm doing. I when to do it, that's the thing. It'll be early next year though.
Okay.
Now they're on packages, it's a lot easier because it's, you know, a certain percentage on the package price or whatever. So yeah, I hated doing price increases. I was terrified I didn't want people complaining, saying, oh, I can't afford this, what do you think you're doing? You know, coming back with worries.
And one of the things that really was interesting, wasn't it? What response did you get?
Everybody was fine, and I got a few clients saying, yeah, that's fine, actually, can you do some work for me on my other business? Because I've got this that I want you to help me on. Or could you start doing budgets and cash flows and things for me? So they're asking me for more services because it was weird. It was like the opposite effect. And
it's amazing, isn't it, how we keep this fear of people not wanting price increases, but actually people value us.
Yeah.
If we value ourselves, others value us, and we can do so much more as a result.
I've got that confidence now since for the last 12 months since doing the Connected Blueprint. I know we offer an excellent service, and I'm not ripping people off. I'm just charging what I should be charging and should have been charging all those years. And then you know that you're being paid your worth, that you're being paid well for what you do, and your client appreciates you, you enjoy the work more. So I do now, I've got more enthusiasm and enjoy it. And I'm not doing as much work as I was before, and I'm earning more. I
love that. And the thing is, I keep saying this, but I know if it was me on the other side of the table, I'd be like, yeah, right. This is all BS. It's not true. You can't do it. But actually, it was by taking that step back.
Yeah.
And actually going internally, wasn't it, for you? Because you'd done the external work. So the coaching course that we'd done was, you do this, you get more money. And you tried all that and it just didn't happen. And it was the same for the other people that took part in it. Instead of doing the work, they found excuses as to why they couldn't do the work, when it was the mindset that was stopping them. And that's why I say that mindset really does speed up your progress. If you work on your mindset first, you can do it all.
I can remember before, when I started talking to you, I thought the things that went on in my head, I couldn't change them. That's how they were. So the fears that I've got, it was either going to be therapist, for, you know, working with a therapist for hours and hours and weeks, and it'd just be too hard, or it would just be too hard work to try and change my thinking. And we did the course with you, and it's like they just dissolve. Those fears just dissolve, and it's painless. You don't feel it, you don't notice it. It's amazing. And then at the end, you feel like, ooh. A thought comes into your mind and you just think, no, that's not right. You know, something that you used to believe, like, not good enough, or who are you to do this? And now there's like a voice that says, that's not right, just shut up, sort of thing. So it's like it's kind of dissolved and gone away and doesn't exist anymore. It's just amazing.
I love that. And I you know, I know it. because having done the work myself as well, I know what a difference it is. Just I'm meeting friends tomorrow that I haven't seen for a couple of years, that I used to work with, and I'm just thinking, God, they're not going to recognize me. Seriously, so different. So but it is so liberating. I mean, we talk about freedom, and yet this is the first freedom that we can have, is freeing ourselves from all those shackles that hold us back. So but one of the fears that I know that you also had, that I want to address, is fear of investing. You'd never had coaching before you had that previous course. You invested in that, it didn't really work, and then here you were seeing me and thinking, is it going to be worth investing again?
And I've got my husband sat next to me like, another course, you've just done one. And I had this gut feeling that working with you, for some reason, I just had this strong feeling that I needed to do it, because there's £1,000 to do the course, just under, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not a small amount.
Hello?
It's not a small amount by any means.
No, I know. My fear was, I had this gut feeling I needed to do it, but I was also like, but will it work? Will it work for me? Will it work for my business? I was still in tropic mode at that point.
Yeah, you were.
And halfway through Connected Blueprint, I think eventually the Connected Blueprint, I was trying to apply it to the tropic business, not this one that's like sat right under my nose that already works. So yeah, it was a case of, well, it's another £1,000. If I don't do it, I always think, if I don't do it, where am I going to go? And
if I remember rightly, £1,000, that was 2 months monthly sales, wasn't it, from Tropic? Because I think you were aiming for something like £500 of sales a month.
Yeah.
So it was a significant investment against that, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, as soon as, before I even got to the end of the course, it was making massive differences to my bookkeeping business. And even then I still wasn't, it was over Christmas. It was about a month after the course ended, I started to think, hang on a minute. It's like, I've got this golden egg that I'm not really nurturing, that I can make this business work the way I want it to. Because you taught me that it's not about you work, the business working you can work the business to make it work how you want it to work, which is what I've done. So it's the money, and it's the kind of balance of time and flexibility, and it's not as pressured now. So it's all kind of worked really well.
And when you sent me that text saying you do 25k quarters, I was like, wow! I was in the library. We'd taken the kids to the library, and I literally went, what?
Successes. It's lovely. You're like the cheerleader at the start.
I love it. Now, obviously, this is a bit of a loaded question here, but we've just done the money workshop, and you did the Connected Blueprint. What was the most? God, this is such a leading question, but I know the answer. What was the significant part of the Connected Blueprint that you did?
Massively, massively. It turned my money beliefs upside down and on the head in a good way, because I'm very good at organising everyone else's finances, but I wasn't very good at my own. I was always winging it, and I wouldn't have time to look at my figures and what was happening. And I was just like, there's some money in the bank, transfer.
Was it you didn't have time, or you didn't make the time?
I didn't have
you avoided
time.
it.
My accounts were always at the bottom of the list, not a priority, but it's still now. And I have savings. I've got a tax bill at the end of December. I've got it saved. It's all ready. I didn't used to do that. I used to wing it and think, I'll find the money when it gets near. And it's horrible. It's horrible pressure. Rich hated it. He didn't like to think that we owed money that we couldn't afford to pay. And as a bookkeeper, I felt guilty that I wasn't more organised. But then with that course, with the books you told me to read that you recommended to me, there were 2 books that made it, and I still read them now, that made a huge difference. And I was like, oh, hang on. Because I think I always felt that if I was stricter with money, I'd feel controlled. And I didn't that. I wanted freedom to spend money as I wanted to. I always trusted that money would come in, because it always did, but I didn't look after it very well.
It's that custodianship, isn't it? It's about showing money that you really value it. It's so important to it. And really does make the difference of how it flows through your life. And there's been a ripple effect, hasn't there? Because not just the business and having more money, but your conversations with your husband are a lot easier now as well, aren't they?
Yeah, because I am quite impulsive, so he was always on edge about what I was going to do next, you know, big spends. And now he's so much happier because we've got money saved, you know, we're not overdrawn, we're straight, everything's fine, we know what we're doing, we know what we're earning. We have it, you tell me to do this as well, pay myself a salary every month instead of bringing money out of the business as and when.
Yeah.
So we get paid on a payday each month. And yeah, he feels a lot more secure and not worried. He used to worry about, I was always like, we'll be fine, we'll always be able to pay the bills. But he to see that was real with the bank being straight and okay. So that
he knew where it was. It's about those kind of boundaries, isn't it? That and you need that in the relationship with money as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, right. Well, I mean, people want to find out how you made your 100 grand business. I mean, for me, you looked at where you were.
Yeah.
You looked at what you wanted.
Yeah.
And you looked at how you would get there.
Yeah.
And that piece was mindset.
Yes, definitely. EFT made a difference to get rid of the money blocks and fear of burnout. I was always terrified of taking on too much. So I can remember thinking if anyone came to see me that wanted to use our services, they're like, oh, don't know about taking this client on, it's going to be more work. And so that kind of cleared that, the EFT. The mindset's the main thing, because you can't see any problem about putting your prices up. You feel differently.
It's that thing that I struggle to explain it, but for me, having the right mindset means that I actually take the action. Whereas before I did the mindset, like, so going live on Facebook, I'd have a fear of my camera falling over, which it did the other day, or having the camera the wrong way round, which I just did earlier, or, you know, it not working like it did just earlier. And it would stop me, and I'd go, oh, but, you know, people don't need to necessarily see me live. It's how I deliver my work that's important. And it's like, but they need to get to know you. And it's that thing that the excuses don't come up. What appear to be justifications as I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
They go.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the path is cleared and you just literally go straight ahead and achieve the 100k business that you've got.
Instead of battling with your own thoughts, your own negative thoughts about yourself, they're just gone. They just disappear. Yes, more come along, different ones, because you did go on to a different level then. And you said this to me, but you can, where you want to be at that point, you can move forward. And I changed my pricing, changed my packages, I've changed the systems so they're easier and less time consuming. When I went back registered, I was scared, but I did it because it was a goal, and I thought I can't hold the business back, just avoiding that. And we did it, but then the goal was then for the first quarter to do the 25k, and it was a push, but we did it. And I didn't know that we were going to do it, but it was like, when I got to the end of that quarter, I was like, oh my God, it has actually fell into place. And without kind of killing myself to do it, it just kind of set the goal, set the figure. I had it on a post-it note on the computer screen. Don't know how it's going to work out. Can't guarantee it's going to happen, but I thought if I at least try, get near that figure,
you're not going to do any harm.
Yeah.
So, talking of figures, do you mind sharing how much per month you've increased now?
It's 2,000, just between £2,000 and £2,500 a month. So that means we're it's about 28% increase on last year, because I last year I was going around with my head in the clouds before I did the money mindset, thinking we were all right. And then when I actually looked at what we were earning, it was crap. And I thought, we need to earn more money. This isn't on for what we're doing. We're working hard. And
especially with all the prices going up at the moment as well.
Yeah.
So
So
if you don't put your prices up, you're basically losing money essentially at the moment. So
yeah,
if you've done £2,000 a month, 24k a
mm,
year,
yeah,
and you paid £1,000 for the course,
yeah. I think
and in that course, it was only 2 weeks on money mindset, wasn't it? Whereas I'm about to sell one that's 4 weeks.
I'm tempted.
So, gosh, how much money would you get back
Well,
for that?
exactly. That's what you've got to look at. And I think as well, when you're showing, I don't know if people believe in the universe and all that, but if you invest in something like that, you're showing yourself and the universe that you're serious and that you want to make changes and you believe you know, you might not feel 100% confident, but you know deep down that you can make a difference and you want to. And you're putting your money where your mouth is then, aren't you?
Exactly.
Invest to
Yeah, and I love the fact that you've just said what I'm what I say, and it's like I don't need to say this because you can see Teresa is telling you this stuff as well. It's not just me that's saying this stuff. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because for me, you are such an amazing example of how you can really change things. You can turn your business, your life around because you have got more time as well to enjoy the money. It's no good working your ass off and having lots of money and not enjoying it. You've got to have that time to enjoy it as well, haven't you? So that's the key.
didn't think it was possible to do that. I always thought you work hard to earn good money. You have to work. If you want to earn 50 grand a year, you've got to do 60 hours a week. That's how I've always been taught. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to sell for a salary or an X amount a year. I wanted the balance of being able to, you know, I mean, in the old days, I used to be getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do VAT returns, and I had so much work coming out of my ears. It was horrible. I never want to go back there again. So
and you never will now, will you?
Oh no, I've got that radar that,
yeah,
you know, I will grow the business at my pace. I'm in charge. Burnout's not going to happen because I'm monitoring things and I'm making sure that when we bring new clients in, that we can cope and everything, we can look after them properly.
And now that you know about that burnout, it now doesn't stop you as well, because I know from my own perspective, I held myself small for fear I would burn out, having been very close to it in the past. Yeah. So you subconsciously, you don't think you're doing it, you think you're putting everything in, but you're actually putting everything into the wrong things. You're not focusing on the right things to do. And that's the key, wasn't it? Is the fact that I think people are tuned in, ultimately, they want to know how you did it so that they can apply it to their business. And for me, I would sum it up in the fact that you worked on your mindset, that you then knew, and I bat on about this all the time, Pareto's principle. You focused on that 20% that was going to get you the 80% results. And don't get me wrong, I remember over the summer you really struggling with time, and you were under the cosh because you were automating a lot of your stuff. So there was a big workload there, wasn't there, when you did have to work some extra hours, but you knew that that was worth it because now you're seeing the results of that automation and how good it is.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a bit of an investment to get things set up, and I've been focusing on that until now. I feel like right now I can see how the land lies and how it can kind of work, and we've got the extra time. My diary now, I've got gaps in my diary instead of it being crammed every day.
She says that, everybody, but we just had a call. She's not going to have that for long. We're going to be working together again, and I'm going to fill those gaps with money. Because I hope I'm not talking out of turn here, Teresa. I haven't asked your permission to say this, but I'm sure you don't mind. Teresa actually asked if she should come on the money mindset, master your money mindset group coaching, because she still wants to work on this stuff as well. And she knew what good value that was and what she would get for it. And I know I'm doing a bit of a sales pitch, but this isn't about me selling. This is because I will be in touch with a few of you because I know there's a few of you that will really, really benefit from this. Look, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. You just say, I don't want to do it. I don't mind that. But Francesca mentioned it yesterday. I knew I could help Francesca a long time before she gave in. And I get frustrated because I know I can help so many of you, that I know that you guys are sat in that financial struggle that actually you don't need to be in. And I am not doing this because I, want to have a massive Christmas. Yeah, I do. But I know you're going to see something Katie's very kindly sent as well. I won't put you in this if I don't think it's right for you. And I've been honest with Teresa. She's beyond what we're going to be doing in the next 4 weeks. So we're talking about something different with her. But you guys that want to add that 2K to your monthly income, this is for you, right? If you are hitting 1 to 2K a month and you want to start getting near, if not hitting your 5Ks, this is what's going to do it for you. The next 4 weeks are what going to get that happening in 2023. Right. And the fact that we're doing it before Christmas is exactly the reason that Teresa mentioned, that she did the work and allowed that break over Christmas for it to percolate in. And she just amazing in January from then on. Right. And it's built and built and built, and it keeps building. Right. This is the mindset, is the joy that keeps working for you, that it keeps allowing you to step up and step up and step up. And as Teresa said, yes, you still have to keep working on it. But, and I said this in the coaching this morning I had with the girls on the blueprint, is the fact that it's the same sort of stuff that keeps coming up. So you become more aware of what's coming up for you.
Yeah, awareness now.
Yeah. And it's like, you go, I see you ain't stopping me. And you move forward. And the other thing, hopefully I'm saying, Teresa will agree with me, is the fact that it creates more discernment on what you invest in. So when you get stuck and you think, I need this, and you invest in that and it doesn't quite hit the mark, that's mindset, because you're not truly seeing the picture. When you work on your mindset, you know exactly when you need help. You can work through some things and you go, stop trying to stop myself. Or you go, no, this is the time that I really do need to invest in someone to help me get that further. And that's when you start to see the true picture, not the clouded picture that you have. I haven't seen too many questions, which is lovely. If you've got questions, do ask. This is your opportunity to grill Teresa, and she will tell you the truth. It's not a case of she's gonna blow smoke up my ass, although she does. Hi Katie, hi Patty, hi Lola. I've tagged a few people. Francesca's walking the dog. Hopefully you've done your work from this morning, girl. If you haven't, you're in trouble, or you're doing it on the walk. That's one of the things I did say. But yeah, if you've got any questions, then do ask. Teresa, my final question. Do you recommend me as a coach?
1,000,000%. Oh my God, I couldn't have done a tenth of what I've done in this year without you.
Oh, bless.
Blew it out the water and made it. Yeah, there's been some work involved, but I enjoy my business now. I love it, and I feel great that we're earning decent money. And you just, I don't know, and it's not just me that says it, but I feel like you just get me and you understand my business, and you have a good wide range of business knowledge, so it doesn't matter what business you're in, you're good at plugging into that business and knowing what we need. And you just, like I said, you're like our cheerleader at the side, cheering us on.
I get so excited by everybody's success. And the thing is, I'll be honest, my success is partly due to Teresa, because I'm a girl that loves words of affirmations, and this girl sends me DMs telling me such beautiful things so regularly. It's like, oh, I like this. And
I'm like, I got to message Sam because I know like Sam.
That's the thing. But I get such a buzz from your achievements as well. And I say it, and I truly mean it. There's several sayings I have. We rise together. But also, you know, it's your success is my success. I couldn't be, you know, I wouldn't be as confident about my courses if you hadn't have achieved what you've done. And that's the thing for me, is that I invest in the people that come in as well, because I want to be able to interview people like this. Do you know what struck me this morning before we came on? I remember the coach whose course we've met on, she did this as part of her sales thing, and I'd forgotten about it, and she did a group interview, didn't she, with a number of people talking about it.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, right, I'm going to manifest myself as one of those people being interviewed. But because our course wasn't successful, she left us, didn't she? She just didn't get in touch again. And I realized that obviously I've manifested it in a different way.
Yeah, you have. So you're the interviewer.
And it's like, it's even better.
Amazing. Yeah, too right.
So yeah, but I mean, I did a card reading for Teresa not long ago, something that I'm kind of dabbling in, and I haven't put it out into the wider world, but I offered it to my current clients. Teresa took me up on it, and it was just such a beautiful card reading, wasn't it? And it's really going to take you forward of where you want to be. And
I was like, yeah, that's right, it's spooky, and it's given me real right idea, because it was what I was feeling deep down. It just confirmed what I need to be doing, gave me that confidence of what the plan is.
And you know what, everybody, look out for Teresa, because next year it's going to be even better with what we've just discussed. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Right, if there's no more questions, then I will let Teresa go off, because as much as she can take time off, really, she wants to be going out for coffees and stuff.
That's okay for lunch now.
I know, I'd be out with you if I could, but we live too far away, don't we? It's not fair. We need another get together. Need to arrange that.
Thanks for inviting me on.
Well, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. Is there anything else that you want to say to people that, you know, they need to be aware of working with me, because I'm so evil?
I think it's just, if you've got that gut feeling and you want more, instead of worrying about costs going up and not having enough money, just have a go. You've got nothing to lose. It's not a huge investment, and you could get really good returns like I have from that investment in yourself. You deserve it. Sam will guide you. She's amazing with all her clients. So, you know, everybody gets on really well. Success is there for you. So just have a go. And it's fun. It's not even hard work. So what have you got to lose, apart from you could be earning a lot more money? Make life
that's the thing. We sit in fear of rising prices, and then we end up losing money because we're not doing anything to try and make the money to pay the rising prices. Whereas if we invest in ourselves and bring money in, I know that there's several people that have had more payments since we just did the workshop last week, or this week. It's not even last week. You know, that's the sort of stuff, we've opened up the flow already. Can you imagine if we open it up even further? It would be amazing.
Powerful, really powerful. And there's easy to get rid of those blocks. They're not permanent. You can get rid of them and get on.
They're like weights holding you down, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it's time to fly for everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I hope if anybody sees this on replay, then do put #replay. And if you've got any questions, then do let us know. I know Teresa's, you know, very open with what she says. You know, she will be truthful with you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Love you. You're amazing. I'm so proud of you. Give my love to Rich. I've never met Rich, her husband, but we kind of have messages between us through Teresa, and I just love Rich as well. So love to you both. All right. And to the doggies as well, and cats. The menagerie. Love it. Take care. Bye.